Be prepared right from the start and throughout for scenes of actual drug usage and highly offensive language and behaviour. Great Britain is in the grip of an epidemic. We are one of the world's biggest users of cocaine.
Crikey, this is quite strong.
With young British adults consuming more than double the European average.
I'm about to party. It's like one of your 5 a day.
These days, there's not a corner of the country where you can't get hold of the Class A drug.
It doesn't matter where you are, you could buy cocaine. You know what I mean? Flick of the wrist, bro.
From the couple snorting a gram with their Friday evening takeaway.
Some people crack open a bottle of Beaujolais and we'll happily sat here and sniff a gram.
To the Royal Mail delivering it straight to the front doors of tech-savvy teenagers.
So I'll add to cart, and that's it, and it will come to you.
This series lifts the lid on Britain's cocaine habit.
Brought me right up.
We get under the skin of those people who are buying, using, and selling cocaine. The nation's partygoers.
I've taken 5 lines and I'm happy days now.
Your next-door neighbour.
Can I have some fun?
And our school children.
What do you think of the gear, guys?
Fucking bang, bang.
This is Cocaine Britain.
It's very, very hard to get out of this lifestyle once you're involved in it. I just watch the younger generation make the exact same mistakes that I wish I didn't make when I was back at that age.
Every time we went out on a weekend, it was, a case of, just let's hoover up everything before we go to bed. Everything just got consumed. And it's so easy to get addicted to it. And it had a negative effect on my career, on my health.
I can't live without it. I don't know how to work a job. I don't know anything other than cocaine. All of the cocaine that enters the UK comes from Southern American countries and makes its way through the country.
Every single line of cocaine consumed in Britain has taken a journey of several thousand miles to get here by any means possible. Land, sea and air. Our authorities are constantly having to adapt to the creative threats of the drug cartels, who are finding new ways of exploiting our defences.
We cannot predict exactly how much comes into the UK and how much is missed, so we know that the drug is here and we know that it's prevalent on the streets. So there's a number of different methodologies used to get cocaine here. It might be by maritime, by container ship, fast parcel for the small, little and often, rip-on, rip-off, where the drugs are placed in a container or on an aircraft in the source country, arrives in the UK, and the drug's removed prior to the borders and customs controls by corrupt individuals, staff within the UK.
The UK Border Force team is the first line of defence against contraband coming into the country, and their approach to identifying drugs is very hands-on.
We deal exclusively here with post. Now this one's quite interesting.
Maggie is a Border Force officer, protecting us against illegal goods that are mailed into the country.
These are South American parcels. This is a food supplement.
Maggie intercepts any package that for her is suspect and could be harbouring illicit goods. Approximately 10 million packages pass through her West Midlands hub each year.
A greetings card, as you see inside the lining, with the workings for the card to make it sing, is a small silver foil bag. We are concerned here with, we find them, we stop them, we seize them, we pass the information to the relevant people. A small press seal bag of very fine powder.
Nothing is too small to test for narcotics.
It's fish oil, you can smell the fish oil now. Upon opening this parcel, notice it was machine parts. There was no invoice, there was no details, there was no thank you, here's your machine part, here's your purchase. It has been x-rayed, so there would have been an anomaly seen on the x-ray. I found a large pellet. So I'll test this. It's gone blue. We're looking at cocaine hydrochloride. It gave a positive indication for the presence of cocaine. It'll be seized, it will be secured, and all parcel details will be relayed to the relevant law enforcement agencies. We always get it first, always do. If you send it, we'll find it. No two ways about it.
Not far away from this Border Force hub, West Midlands cocaine supplier Grant knows there's only so many parcels Border Force can open, and that cocaine hidden in birthday cards is just the tip of the iceberg.
The lengths people will go to get their stuff back on these shores is absolutely unbelievable. They're actually following holidaymakers home, and on the last stop, on whatever campsite before the ferry home, they're sneaking up in the middle of the night, swapping a particular spare wheel on a camper van and replacing it with their own wheel, full of stock, pure cocaine, and a 40-pound disposable tracker. And they can just sit 100 miles behind it, let it cross into Britain, and retrieve it at their leisure. These people at the top understand that the Border Force is stretched to the limit already, so they're taking full advantage of that.
Using unsuspecting members of the public as cocaine mules is a stark reminder that the suppliers and dealers will use any means necessary to get the drugs into the country, regardless of who may be affected. In the case of one smuggling operation gone wrong, Norfolk local Julian got caught up in something that would change his life forever.
In this part of Norfolk, drugs are rife, I ain't gonna lie. They're everywhere. Everybody knows somebody that can get it, or, you know, it's absolute madness, if I'm honest. I was actually around my girlfriend's, and a load of my friends, they started sending me pictures and links of what had happened. There was a big news report that a woman walking a dog had found a load of holdalls. They were all full of cocaine. I think it was 3/4 of a ton scattered along the shore.
Just imagine you were on the beach walking your dog and you discovered millions of pounds worth of illegal drugs. Well, that's exactly what happened to Valerie McGee, who came across satchels stuffed with cocaine.
I said, well, I'm gonna have to go look. Even then, I had a feeling that I was gonna find something. So I probably walked for about an hour, a mile or two. You couldn't write it in a book, could you? It was just here in front of these steps. There was cocaine laying about everywhere. Even though it was dark, I could see ahead of me somebody had opened the package and left some. So that was when I helped myself, really. I haven't ever seen anything like it washed up before. Obviously, I was over the moon and that I'd found something so precious. I texted my girlfriend at the time saying that I'd found Willy Wonka's golden ticket, and that got me in so much trouble. It's unbelievable. I mean, really, it was the best and the worst thing that ever happened to me. Going through what I've been through, I wouldn't want to look for it again.
Coke is just probably the worst thing to ever come into my life, really.
To say it's coke, which I'm sure it is, but is it? Is it really? Because on the street, you can never know what the fuck you're getting. You don't know if you're getting coke, if you're getting fucking diazepam. You just don't know what the fuck you're getting.
Once the pure imported cocaine has reached our shores, it gets distributed all around the country to people like Grant, a cocaine wholesaler. Grant knows all the tricks of the trade to maximize profit, whilst keeping customers coming back for more.
These days, it's whether somebody isn't being caught. I've met solicitors, QCs, prosecutors, building surveyors, air hostesses, record production companies. Everybody and anybody is having a go at it. You know, I was with a police officer 6 months ago, sniffing copious amounts of cocaine. If you're lucky enough, you'll get some stuff off a decent day like me that's mixed up organically. Failing that, who's to say what you put up your nose? You know, could be plant fertilizer, amphetamines, ecstasy, MDMA. Copious amounts of bollocks. People are actually paying to put this shit up their fucking nose.
People like Grant provide the cocaine that street dealers then sell on to the public. Gram by gram sales are what make up the vast majority of the UK's cocaine transactions. And dealers like Leo are on the front line of feeding the demand day in, day out.
It goes mad. It's a mad thing right now. I'm talking to you like I'm probably losing shots and that right now, but you know, I just want to let the people that know innit, but it's like, you know, the girls, they want this thing right now just for a recreational thing, fucking get kind of wavy before they go out.
Thank you very much.
No, no problem. Looking splendid still. Ready to hit the town, innit?
Yeah, of course.
With such high demand, it really is a seller's market. And some dealers can't resist taking advantage of their clients.
Crushing it, making it look just like the bad thing, you know what I mean? Gonna add some benzos to that. Right, watch, they get that placebo effect. You know what I mean? You gotta do it real nice like that. Gotta make it look authentic, you know? You get me, bro. Hey, look at that. Mad. Look at that pure white blood. Mad. Hey, watch. And these dickheads ain't never know the difference, bro. Get that in the baggie. You know what I mean? Done. Crazy.
This baggie of paracetamol, passed off to partygoers as cocaine, will sell for an unbelievable £80. On the streets, the market around cocaine, real or otherwise, is thriving. This provides our police with a daily challenge to stem the availability of cocaine by targeting the dealers and keeping the general public safe from harm. Tonight, a proactive plainclothes team from the Met Police are on patrol in the West End, keeping an eye on our capital's partygoers. A lot of their work is around targeting cash point thefts, where cocaine is often used as a lure.
Quite often get people, they've had a few drinks, they decide that they want a little something extra to keep the evening going. They think then it's a good time to go and purchase it from somebody on the street.
When a vulnerable partygoer is apprehended by a dealer telling them they have cocaine for sale, what they don't realise is the Class A drug could be used as bait to rob them.
These people particularly target clubs and pubs. They're very good at selecting their victims. They surround them in numbers and intimidate the person, taking their bank card, obviously seeing the ATM and put the PIN number in, then they have access to that person's account. It's almost the perfect crime for them because the victim doesn't want to then approach police because they've been trying to buy something that is illegal, so they go unpunished.
Being robbed as a result of trying to buy fake cocaine is distressing. But for many users, their concerns lie mainly with what's been mixed in with their drugs.
My friend one time bought some coke apparently, and it came out with like a paper and like pieces of paper folded up in a baggie, and like the dealer just drove away and he could do nothing about it. It's just like you never know what you're getting.
Okay. Right. You're welcome. What do you have? What have you got? How much is coke? 60 quid a gram. How pure is it? It's 7%. I'm not going to say you're 7%. Right, 7%.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to be honest with it, you know, but it's decent.
You don't know what goes in that cocaine or what's in there. It might not even be cocaine. It might just be paracetamol, and you won't know. Or it might be something worse that can make you go crazy.
How much did you say it was? 1,800 is what 85 grams it is. Okay, and will we do it openly in the street? Yeah. You just wait the end of the shop, I'll go and get it for you. Okay, how do I know it's cocaine? Fuck's sake, really. So people never mix it with stuff or like cut it? Please, don't roll that shit. Because I heard this. No, it just doesn't happen. No. It just happened. I'm not saying no. But don't go with the wrong people. That's what I'm saying. Take it, just like you watch one of those.
Like some shit is so bad that you instantly know. Like I've had some shit that had like fucking soap in it or some shit, like detergent. Like dead ass tastes like detergent, bro. So nasty.
I feel like you know if it's good if like you do like the littlest amount and your whole like face is numb. That's when you know it's good.
People will go, that's good. That's just the benzocaine, which is the local anaesthetic effect. You can't tell how good coke is by looking at it or looking at it. And if you believe that you can, that's probably because you've just done too much coke and you think you're far brighter than you are.
In Cardiff, scientists at the NHS testing facility Wedinos know exactly what's going up your nose.
We receive samples of psychoactive substances or suspected psychoactive substances from members of the public, people who perhaps are using drugs, but also organisations right across Wales and the wider UK.
The production team passed on to Wedinos a baggie of cocaine they bought off an East London street dealer to find out exactly what was in it.
We'll go down to the Wedinos laboratory where samples are prepared for analysis. We're about reducing harms. Through the testing facility, we're able to identify trends in higher purity substances and also any cutting agents that may cause adverse effects. Within cocaine samples, primarily the bulking agents that we do tend to see are things like caffeine, lidocaine, benzocaine, but the most commonly identified substance was levamisole, which is commonly used as a cattle dewormer.
Reported side effects of levamisole include ulceration, skin lesions, and bladder cancer. Adulterated cocaine may end up causing some unpleasant side effects. But in London, another NHS facility works tirelessly to help people battling with the most common side effect, addiction. Arch provides treatment to around 800 addicts per year. 82 of those are primary cocaine users.
In terms of your cocaine use, you use once or twice over New Year, Chris?
Yeah, it was probably a fortnightly thing still, yeah.
Max is one of the key workers at Arch. He heads up the centre's criminal justice intervention team, a team of 4 working solely with addicts who have been in trouble with the law. One of Max's clients is Jack, who was referred to Arch's criminal intervention team 5 months ago, after being arrested for the possession of Class A drugs.
Last year, 2017, he was arrested for a drugs-related offence. They tested him and he tested positive for cocaine. And now it's mandatory for someone who tested positive in a custody suite to come to 2 appointments at their local drugs and alcohol service.
In the 5 months Max has been working with Jack, his cocaine use has dropped from daily to once a fortnight. But there's still work to be done.
I'm rocking around in my bed and I'm just like, I'm never doing this again. This is fucking crazy. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself again? And 2-3 days later, all of that's gone. I've completely forgotten about it.
That's the reason that the 2 appointments with the test and arrest, because you give them a week, you send them away and say, please come back, please have a think about it. And often that's already reduced within the first week.
I think the relationship's really helped as well, being in a strong, happy relationship. I mean, I did like a few years just of everyday consumption of alcohol and cocaine, and then also then smoking weed to bring me down from the cocaine. So yeah, being in this relationship is really, really helped massively, hugely.
It's about normalising your drug use. And, Alcohol might be legal, you might see it on the telly, things like that. So that's, you know, but that's similar with cocaine, because if you're in a party, you know, and everyone's drinking, but everyone's using cocaine as well, no one's going to be saying to you, actually, is that a good idea?
I feel no two ways about spending £40 on the ticket, but if you said £40 to go to the theatre, which is not, but for example, something like that, you'd be like,
Yeah.
that's a bit big.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that. When you phone someone up for a ticket, it's just like 40 quid, yeah, bosh, gone. No worries about that at all. So yeah, you're right. If I could take that fortnightly thing and think, well, that money that I'm spending, not just the cocaine, I mean the booze and all, it turns out to be an expensive night.
Back in Norfolk, and Julian's big find of a kilo of cocaine was already proving too hard to handle. The drugs are believed to have been tied to buoys by smugglers. It's thought they were swept onto the beaches by strong winds and waves, breaking their ties.
Partied hard. That went on for a few months. Ended up with a habit. When you're addicted and that, you ain't really thinking deeply about consequences, or you just want to party, do you know what I mean? After finding something like that, throws you that deep down a rabbit hole that you just don't know who you are. And if you don't find yourself again, you'll never come out.
The party ended abruptly after Julian was arrested several months after he found the cocaine.
The police told me that somebody had grassed me up. Who it was, I don't know. They put me in a cell. I can't really remember so much because I was high at the time.
It wasn't long before the press turned Julian into the poster boy for the washed-up 50 kilos of cocaine.
The papers made me out to be such a big-time dealer and that, and I'm so low profile that I don't know why the police even come to my house, really, because I weren't dealing, I was only helping friends out, partying myself. Went to court, they give me a 2-year suspended sentence, drug rehabilitation requirement, and that's when I put myself in at the rehab clinic and started making a move towards sorting my life out, really. Since all this is washed up, I can't say that I know there is an epidemic of people using now. There's a lot of people using cocaine. I do regret that I ever touched the stuff, because it has ruined my whole life, really. Drugs are no good for nobody. I would like to put it all behind me, yeah. Yeah, that would be nice.
Even with £50 million worth of cocaine washing up on our shores, the drug cartels who dumped it in the ocean are still at large.
A spokesman for the National Crime Agency has described the finds as a substantial seizure of Class A drugs and a major blow to the organised criminals involved.
Julian is still the only person charged in connection with the beach cocaine. He remains in rehabilitation for his addiction.
There is a fine line between habit and, what's the word? Addiction.
The job that I worked in the city was very high stress. Unfortunately, I started turning to cocaine, not firstly for any recreational use. It was more to keep me awake and on edge. I think after about 2 years, I realised that it had a grip on me.
Around those vital teenage years, you are so fragile, like you're so open to doing everything, but you're really young and you don't really know the consequences. I've lost countless friends to it, and it's upsetting.
When recreational cocaine use becomes full-blown addiction, the lives of users and those around them takes a sudden and scary turn. When Adam started displaying worrying behaviour, his family began to record their experiences.
But I heard about season.
What makes you think there's somebody in attic though? Do you actually see anybody?
I don't know, you see. There's no one there.
Sending a picture.
There isn't.
Oh my God, isn't it? He's sweating.
For Adam's mother Andrea and grandmother Irene, this video is a long way from the boy they once knew.
He were a good kid. He were a good baby, weren't he? A really good baby, and he were good at school.
Oh, he were a lovely kid.
Never got into trouble or anything like that. Look at that happy face.
I know.
For Andrea, the trouble began when her son grew up and started to behave erratically.
You'd be having a conversation with him, and it's not